Hey leaders, how are you? It's been a while, but I have been like a mad person. So I've had this topic on my head about, and I feel like it's very pervasive and it's something that I've kind of realized is a thing. In fact, I realized that I was using it in my own language when I'm speaking. And that is two things. I have a message, but the first thing that I want to acknowledge before I deliver the message and keep this all really short is that if you're watching this, you're a leader. You are a leader because you chose to enter a leadership group. You are a leader for a multitude of reasons that I bet you would not think of yourself as a leader for. You know, if you are working on starting your own business, I don't care if you don't have a single employee. I don't care if you've never had any kind of leadership position your whole life. I don't care if, you don't even intend to have employees. If you're starting your own business, you're a leader in your own right because you want to be the leader in your own life, which is awesome. And you don't have to be a business owner to be a leader in your own life. But those of you who are doing that, that's exactly what you're doing. You don't want to follow anybody else. You want to, pave your own path, which is awesome. And that's what leaders do. That's one of the things that leaders do. And if you are a business owner, you don't have a team yet, or, maybe you're a business owner and you have a team and you just haven't even thought about it, but you're a leader. And the reason I want you to really recognize this fact, and part of why I know I don't include it in my own language is because I've dealt with so many business leaders that do not behave as leaders, or who need tremendous coaching on leadership, which is part of the second part of my message. And I wanted to acknowledge this and kind of get rid of that whole stigma in my communication, because I don't want, I've dealt with so many leaders who need so much work, but the point is to do the work. So I want to stop speaking of it in a way that it's like you're not leaders yet. You are leaders. The point is to get better at it. So I mean, if you're out there starting your own business, or maybe you're hiring your first employees, or maybe you already have employees, don't wait. I know a lot of people are like, well, maybe I'll have employees later, and at that point I'll really need to dig into the whole leadership topic. Don't wait, because you're only giving yourself more time to make ridiculous mistakes. And I say ridiculous, they're common. They're mistakes everybody makes. But if you get out ahead of it, before you ever even get your first employee, if you do tremendous study, I mean, especially if you've never been in leadership roles or leadership situations, one of the things I always said because, I have experience in training leaders, I always pick the leaders by, or one of the things that really stood out to me to grab somebody as a leader is whether people were following them already. It's, and that's, it's like you didn't even give them the position. You haven't even hinted at the fact that this person's going to be in charge or anything like that, but that's the person that everybody follows, and trusts, and trust is part of leadership. So, a lot of times people become leaders without even realizing they're leaders and not even recognizing it and not giving themselves that title, not giving themselves that acknowledgement. And I want you to acknowledge that you are leaders and start educating yourself today. I mean, if you are reading all kinds of books and it's, you're reading self-help or personal development or whatever, throw leadership books in there. And I can give you a list of leadership books. In fact, I've been thinking about starting a book club because I am a book dork. So, and that's all I read. So, not all, but a lot of it. But I mean, start finding those awesome leadership books, and if you want to know some of them, I'll throw them in the comments. Just ask. But the other thing that I want you to really learn about, and I want to talk about these things, but is communication. And I know, I mean, for me, I think where I'm really learning to communicate is right here in video. There's a lot that I know about communication. I actually have had great success with video. I tend to ramble Shocker, I know. But yeah, so I tend to ramble. I get that. I can be lengthy. But part of why I do video and why I'm actually very comfortable, even though I know that I ramble, is that I started doing videos. Actually, my YouTube, if you look at my YouTube, you can only see a few of my videos, but I literally have over 200 videos on there, which when I realized that, I was like, that's insane. But because I used to, when I was, leading the companies before, I would write an email and I would, only include what information, I would do like a very short order version of what needs to be said. And then I would make a video, because what I realized is really lengthy emails, even the people who love a lot of information didn't tend to read the lengthy emails. And so once I would start typing an email, I got really long with it. I was like, okay, time to be done. So what I started doing was shortening the emails and started making videos. So I'd send them the email with that and then a link to a video giving them all the information. And that got the information across a lot more effectively. So I understand how powerful video is. I also understand how much I ramble in videos. And it doesn't matter how often I try to make a 5-minute video. Because I don't script myself, I can't help it. I'm a quick start. If you don't know what that is, don't worry. Maybe I'll do a video on that too. But actually, I have videos on that. But all that aside, knowing how to communicate to people is tremendously important. I can say that the biggest downfall in some of the leaders that I've known is communication. Ultimately, that ultimately their biggest issue was communication. They could not effectively communicate. They could not get the message across. And it didn't matter what medium. It could be verbal, it could be written, it didn't matter. They often just failed to properly get across what they wanted to say. So communication is a huge thing. So as leaders, you are leaders. I'm appointing you leaders. If nobody has before, you are a leader sitting here watching this right now. And I want you to study leadership, and I want you to study communication. And I'm going to try to bring you as much as I can about those topics as we go forward. But I just wanted to put that out there. I'm cutting myself off. It's good to see you guys. I want to be in the group more. It's part of my plan for the rest of this year. And next year, it's going to be a huge thing to have a lot more online presence. But right now, a lot of my work is offline. So I hope to be around more. I want to be around more. I will be around more. I will be around more. And I will get less rambly. I will have bullet points and I will just do that. But my main message today is you're a leader. So go be a leader and educate yourself. Bye, guys.